Zach, we got a month.
Until the babies do.
I hope that I would have known there was a baby coming 8 months
You didn't know
prior.
I was pregnant?
I hope that I would have known 8 months prior. But it ain't my baby. I want a DNA test. But we got a month, man. Football season is a month away, and not counting
Bro.
preseason. Obviously, preseason's like a week.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking hyped, bro. I cannot wait for actual football action. I know, for all the people, there's been women's football, there's been, yes, there has been football. Football is a year-round thing, depending on which league you're looking at. But I'm excited for NFL football. I'm excited for the Jets. I'm excited for all football, but I'm excited for the Jets. So
I
yes, I
wanted to
cannot
know
fucking
how
wait.
many MILFs the Mormon Monster takes out this season.
Yeah, I definitely you just wait till you see my player card and what my team name is going to be this year. But yeah, I have been making as many, like, on Twitter. Every time I retweet something from Zach Wilson, I have done as many like mature jokes as humanly possible. Yeah, he's really matured in the off season.
He's grown in length.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Breaking Down the Tape, the best goddamn podcast you'll listen to if you ever listen to it. I am Papa Smurf.
And you already know what I say.
Yeah, I should just roll the clip when I go to introduce you and just I said what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said. I thought that last one that I ended it off on was fucking mint. You
That
laughing all
one had
the way
me dying. That
I
one
went
had
back.
me dying.
I went back a couple of months. You could actually see, like, so obviously I edited myself out because the whole thing is about you and I said what I said and not me. But you could see, like, I go from, like, I have a little bit of scruff to completely nothing, just the mustache, to then boom, beard. You can see the transition of when I went to a baby faced little boy. But this week, as we ramp up, everybody in the NFL is at training camp. There have been only one notable holdout. We'll get into that. Hector will take us around the world of sports. We're gonna be talking, some baseball, some basketball, some a little bit of everything. You already know. If you've been listening, you already know. And if you're new here, well, you'll find out. So Hector, take us around the world of sports, sir.
Yeah, I mean it's been heating up a little bit more when it comes to like the other sports and shit going on. First topic, really going over to the NBA. This Brittany Griner stuff, WNBA, I should say. This Brittany Griner stuff has come out. They are now, and this is what blows my mind. The U.S. has always stand by. We don't negotiate with terrorists or enemy. Period. Period. And then you just fold. So now in order to get her back, you are giving Russia a arms dealer who committed terrorism in the United States, selling millions of dollars of weapons, who's serving 25 years right now, and I'm shocked that it's only 25 years. But you hand over this guy Victor Bout, who you know for a fact is not going to spend a single second in a Russian prison.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go right back to doing what he was doing.
So let me make my position on this extraordinarily clear for the listener. Is Russia being a just giant conglomerate of dicks? 100%. Because she got caught with a little bit of oil on her, and they're charging her with like large-scale drug trafficking. So are they being a major bag of dicks? Absolutely. Are they trumping up charges on Brittany Griner in order to try and force our hand like this? Absolutely. But let's kind of compare it to sports here. You are trading LeBron James in this fucking arms dealer for Tyler Hero. Like, it's And I definitely think Brittany Griner should be home. I definitely think this shit has been dragged on. I definitely think that this is fucking insanity. But to trade an arms dealer for an athlete, no matter the athlete, it could be fucking Derek Jeter, who we'll talk about later. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not. To me, that's not a great trade. You're not really getting great trade value.
What makes me infuriated about the whole thing too, they are going to give Victor Bout over to Russia for Brittany Griner and a guy called Patrick Whalen. If I get his name right, Patrick Brown. Excuse me if I got his name a little wrong, but I know his last name is Whalen, if I'm correct. Former U.S. Marine. I can't even say former, because once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. He spent 3 years so far over there for espionage.
Got caught.
It takes you 3 years and a WNBA black gay woman in order for you to get him home, you needed her. Where in the 3 years was he going to get home? Why is this veteran stuck over there and not getting no exposure to what's happening to him? But, oh, shit, WNBA player Brittany Griner is detained in Russia. We need to get her back.
I got 2 words for you as far as that goes. It's more than 2 words. I can't fucking count. Point being is it's the court of public opinion, my friend. The court of public opinion. That's why. Because let's be honest. And I know this is a sports talk show, so if you don't like this, I'm fucking sorry, but you're gonna get like raw, real shit here. This country hates veterans. Let's keep it a buck, right? Let's keep it a stack. This fucking country hates veterans. You've got, your fucking, Bubba and his, Southern boys who live below the Mason-Dixon, and everyone who thinks they're Southern fucking sit there. Oh yeah, veterans. We love veterans. Yes, our military members should get paid trillions of dollars a fucking second because they defend this country, right? But then when it comes down to it, what are you doing to help veterans? Are you voting for people who help veterans? You're not, because veterans are the worst fucking treated, group in this fucking country. I mean, I don't know the statistic off the top of my head, but how many of the homeless population are veterans? What are we doing in this country to help veterans? And it's this exact point. Does that Marine hold any more value as an American citizen than Brittany Griner? I'm going to say no. I think every life is the same.
He's not a Marine no more.
But you want to.
It's the government.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You want to fucking talk about how, it takes a WNBA player, an athlete, any person, anybody that's above a veteran. That's wild to me. That's why, but that's what it comes down to. It's the court of public opinion in this country at an institutional level, and when it really comes down to it, does not give a shit about veterans.
No, they care about you while you're in, even though they pay you shitty housing.
Only if you support their cause. They don't.
Yes, you have to
while you're in, unless.
And I've been there. I've tried to, once I've got enough rank and I try to voice my opinion. No. They'll hide you. They'll shame you. They don't care about you, whether you're in or you're out. And then once you're out, they definitely give no fucks about you anymore. You are a number. You are a body. That's it.
You are government property. That's it. That's all you are. And when you've lived your usefulness,
so you telling me this kid spends 3 years in Russia? What happened if WNBA player Brittany Griner didn't get detained? This kid would still be over there.
And I'll again keep it a stack with you. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing until you brought it up. I'm one of the ignorant masses who did not know that was a thing until you said something.
Well, I knew about him when I was in. Well, no, not even, because he's been there 3 years. I learned of him when I was in, because he was in at the same time. And then he's been over there 3 years detained. I think the first year the year that they detained him, we had learned about it, and then it disappeared.
Well, naturally.
And then disappeared. You never heard about it again. So It takes the WNBA player that you're begging to come home. I'm not even gonna lie. Look, I smoke hella fucking weed. I am a stoner through and through. You make up a you literally went out your way to give this woman a bullshit. I'll call it what it is. It's a falsified statement saying that she needs this cannabis for medical reasons and stuff. She didn't have it before, but then once she got detained, she gets this letter. No, come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
The timing is weird, but I'm a big fan of medical fucking marijuana. I'm a big fan of what it can do for
I
you.
am too, but I'm
pain
just saying
management and stuff, but,
it's wrong in the way they went about it right there.
lawyers.
First of all, it's not even all legal in the United States. It's not even federalized. It's legalized within certain states. So it's not
There's
even
so many levels to
federalized.
this.
But you're going to go defend her in a country that she shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Yeah,
and granted, I've been there. I've been in court. You know she lying. You know she took it and tried to sneak in through Russia with it. There's no,
sure.
I didn't know it was in the bag. Yeah, you did. Yeah, the fuck you did.
Yeah,
There's no way you accidentally pack weed. No, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. I don't go on a plane trip and be like, oh, I accidentally packed my weed. No, I'm packing my fucking weed.
Right. No, and I hear you. She definitely there's so many fucking levels to this, but she definitely has culpability. Like, you knew the rules. You've been playing in Russia for how many years? You knew the rules. You know Russia has an axe to grind with the US. You have to know. You don't have to be a political science fucking expert to know that the US and Russia don't get along. Like, come on now. You read a book.
And we knew about the war on Ukraine way before you took that plane ride. Why are you acting stupid?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you putting yourself in a position? And look, I'm not saying Brittany Griner has all the culpability, because she doesn't. Because again, she had, even if it was, I don't know how many ounces of fucking oil it was, but come up with an egregious amount, whatever. Even if it is an egregious amount of fucking hash oil, she's not trafficking drugs. And that's the charge they're trying to bring her up on. They're trying to bring her up on like a major fucking drug trafficking charge. So Russia is going out of their way to be a just massive unwashed dick for no fucking reason.
And then they get mad when we call it, you're like you said, you're forcing our hand. You only detained her. You wrongfully detained her because you don't like us. You're mad at us.
Yeah,
we're helping Russia out. We're helping Ukraine whoop your ass, because that's what's happening right now. Ukraine's putting up the biggest fucking fight over there. It's a back and forth, and Ukraine's whooping some ass, and you're mad.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's exactly what it is. That's 100% what it the fuck is. But I don't know, man. Look, I'm not a politics expert. I'm just a guy who drinks and talks about sports. But so I try and equate everything to what I can understand in sports. And when you're telling me that you're trading like a known international arms dealer for an athlete, I just don't see. That's not a good trade to me.
I want Brittany Griner back. 100%. I want Patrick Whalen back. But that is the most lopsided motherfucking trade. Yeah. That's blacklisted right there. That's one of his degenerate football league trades right there. Veto that fucking trade. What are you doing?
Can we veto? Do we have a veto button? Like, as the U.S., can we veto this trade?
Can we vote?
This is not
like, can the country as a whole vote to be like, no, this man should probably, first of all, he's an arms dealer. How the fuck can we get 25 years?
American justice system, baby. American justice system. But yet, as a maximum security correctional officer way back in a past life, I had inmates that were in there for life because of drug charges, non-violent drug charges. But homeboy is a fucking international arms dealer. He's got 25 years. Love to see it. Sarcasm. For anybody who's gonna be like, oh, Zach fucking said, Papa Smurf fucking said that he loves to see. No, shut up. Or sarcasm. Leave me alone. Anyway, what else do we got next on the docket?
That just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Shit, it got me so fucking baffled right now. Going over to MLB, we were talking about it before we hopped on. We have Benintendi coming over to the Yankees. Yep. That means Joe Gallo is I don't know if they're going to hold on to him or they're going
Off
to
with
release
his
him
head.
or they're going to try to find a trade. But he
A
losing time.
trade. A trade. Who's gonna trade for Joey Gallo right now? My local little league team wouldn't trade for fucking Joey Gallo right now. A trade.
Aaron
The
Judge
Yankees are gonna
has
have to
more.
pay you to trade for Joey. They're gonna have to give you top prospects and $50 million and fucking sodas in your soda machines to fucking give you Joey Gallo. What are you talking about?
Aaron Judge has more home runs than Joey Gallo has hits this season.
Off with his head. I hate to sound like your typical New York Yankees fan who fucking just at the drop of a hat loses their mind, but off with his fucking head.
I mean, I lost my. I question. I mean, I'm one of those guys that have been an advocate for Aaron Boone. I think he's done a fantastic job with the Yankees as a manager.
Yeah.
Always 100-win seasons, making the playoffs, close to World Series, blah blah blah. In this Mets Subway Series, this motherfucker pinched hit Joey Gallo in a crucial. What are you thinking?
You'd have a better shot at putting me up to bat than Joey Gallo right now. Like, I'm just gonna at least
Better
throw the
chance
bat
of
at the
putting up a
ball.
blind person.
And the Yankees recall Helen Keller from their farm system, and she hits better than Joey fucking Gallo.
Like, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I agree with you. Now, something about this that we also brought up. So I'm under the impression that with Benintendi, the Yankees are out of the Juan Soto race, that we are done, that there's no need to continue down this path. But you feel differently?
I do. Because like we were discussing before, I love the Benintendi thing. He hits for average. He's a speed guy. He's a gold glove outfielder. He has a great arm. Just if you just look at the dude, he just looks like a positive dude. He's only with us after we got him. He's only with us for the rest of the season. So he's a free agent once the season's over. Mm-hmm. Can we re-sign him? Will we re-sign him? Who knows? We'll see when the season ends. But that still leaves the door open. Because whether he walks, we still have an outfielder position open. And we don't know what's going to happen to Aaron Judge. Yeah, so if Aaron Judge, turns around and for shits and giggles, he goes over to fucking Boston. Now we got another position open, and we still have the money, the prospects, the value, everything to go out and replace an MVP caliber player with an MVP caliber player.
True that. Now, I did see that the Yankees were looking to focus more on pitching than they were on like position players. Now, keep in mind, when I see these reports, they are from Twitter and TikTok, and you know what I mean? Like, some of them blue check mark verified, but everybody gets these things wrong all of the time. So how do you feel about, do you think the Yankees should still pursue Juan Soto, or do you think we should still pursue pitching?
That's kind of tough. That's really tough. For me with the Yankees, I'll always go for the pitching.
Sure.
That has been one of our weaker points in our history. We've always had troubles either keeping our pitchers healthy for an extended period of time or just not finding the guys that fit well and play well. Right. Pitchers is what we need. We need to go look. The Astros got a dominant pitching rotation. The Mets have a dominant pitching rotation. These guys that we're Dodgers got pretty dominant pitching. We got guys that we're gonna face in the playoffs with dominant pitching. We need dominant pitching. The hitters, Yankees are always gonna get hitters.
Yeah, they're the Bronx Bombers for a reason.
That's easy. Finding hitters, we got prospects that even if we don't trade away, this Jason Dominguez guy is a fucking rake animal.
The kid who's like Aaron Judge 2.0, who's like a fucking 6'6" or some shit like that, and he's just a fucking monstrous human?
It's not the dude that they drafted from Vanderbilt recently, but this guy has been in the minor leagues for us. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
He just got promoted to AAA. I want to say maybe a month ago or something.
Gotcha.
First at bat, he fucking ripped one like 400 feet.
There you
Like
go. Dingers.
this kid is nasty. Then we still have Velope, who's a shortstop that might be the second coming of Derek Jeter if it all pans out the right way.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that'll be a good segue. But uh, but yeah, we and right now, even when the Benintendi deal, we traded away 3 single A pitchers, still top 30 prospects for us. But they're in the age of 21 to 24. They weren't going to make the majors at any time for us in the Yankee organization. So they were no use to us right now. What, they're going to make the majors when they're 29?
Right.
Might as well send them over, get Benintendi, and let the Royals start playing them. Because we know how the Yankees do. The Yankees always end up trading people away and getting them back anyway.
It just happened with I like him too.
It happened with Chapman. It happened with the other pitcher, Abreu, that we have.
Just happened this season with some kid. Fuck it. He's a fast kid. He's a utility player.
Tyler Wade.
Thank you, Tyler Wade. I couldn't fucking think of his name.
And I'm still waiting for him to get on the field. I haven't seen him get on the field yet, but I'm excited for that he's back with us. His first 5 seasons with us. He only spent half a season with the Angels, and we got him back. I think he's a great utility man.
Speaking of, because of the Tyler Wade trade, Tyler Wade was traded for cash considerations and a player to be named later. I think that is the funniest fucking thing in baseball, that you can be traded for a player to be named later, and you can be the player to be named later. It's happened a handful of times where a player has been traded for a player to be named later, and that player to be named later is the player that was traded. So essentially, you're traded for yourself. And I find that to be one of the more wild and obscure things that can happen in all of sports, and it just makes me chuckle. I just want to point it out.
The way baseball works with the verbiage and the trade, if the NFL or the NBA worked this way, it'd be mayhem.
Like, I'm gonna trade you Tom Brady, and then in 16 weeks when we approach the fucking season, no, take back seas, he's mine. I mean, obviously it doesn't work like that, right? Like, it's value for value, and I'm sure there's more to it than just I'm gonna trade you Tyler Wade for a player to be named later, and that player to be named later is fucking Mike Trout. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that there's obviously some sort of regulating system that keeps it even, but I still think that it is just fucking wild that there is the potential to be traded for yourself. That's fucking insane for me.
I've always said the same thing. The whole trading for cash consideration, that always blew my mind.
Like, you are literally paying for a player, in the most strict and basic sense of the word. You're not like you are. I will give you money for this human being. That's fucking wild.
It's not even a trade. Then you're just I'll buy him from you.
Yeah, it's just fucking. It's one thing to sign.
Is that even a trade?
It's for me. It's one thing to sign a player in free agency because I'm coming to you as the GM. Say I'm the GM of the Yankees. I'm coming to you, Hector, and I'm saying, look, this is what I think your value is. And you come back to me and say, well, fuck you. This is what my value is to me. And we meet somewhere in the middle. And okay, I'm paying you, the person who thinks your value is delineated here. Fine. That makes sense to me. But for me, the GM of a team, to go to you, the GM of a team, and say, I'm buying Christie off of you for $50,000. And you're like, meh, I thought she was 25, but sure, I'll give you 50 for. I'll take 50 for it. That's why it's fucking insane to me. Whatever. I fuck. Okay.
Baseball. I'm not gonna lie. You got to give it to these guys. Yeah, these guys that work behind these offices, and they make these Brian Cashman. These guys, wild, these fucking trades.
And to make baseball even more fucking wild, baseball doesn't have a salary cap. We'll get into that as well. And fucking, you're paying players $350 million for $500 million, right? Or these contracts in baseball. But then you take one step down, one fucking step down, and you're making $10,000 a year. What?
And
You bought a
since we
Coke
brought up
machine for more than that this year. What?
since we brought up the salary cap issue, I don't believe there should be a salary cap. I think most sports should be in the baseball realm of a no salary cap
Yes.
because I'm all for taking money from the rich white man that don't give a damn about anybody else but his motherfucking self and the greens in his pocket. I'm all for knocking, like, if I'm able to take a penny out of their account, I'm doing it.
Yep.
I'm doing it. But I will also stand by, I don't think there is a single person ever on the face of the planet, ever, for however long the world survives, ever worth $500 million, $1 billion. No one in any sport ever is
No.
worth $200 million. I'm sorry, it's not. No one. It's a sport that you play for free your entire fucking life. No one is worth that much to play a sport.
Yeah, well, look, I agree with you. When you're looking at a human being and like you're judging their character or what they bring to society or those around them, yeah, you can't put a monetary value on people. I agree with you 100%. And when you're, especially when you're talking about such egregious sums of money, I agree with you 1000%. But when you're considering the market in which these athletes, all of them, play in, they're playing in $1 billion markets, getting paid $100 million. Wait. What? The owners make, if you own an NFL team, when you start the fucking season, I am Roger Goodell, you are Hector, you own the New York Jets. Season starts, and I send you a check in the mail of $230 million just because you own a football team. Period. That is before your fucking personal fortune. That is before your fucking revenue from the stadium and sales and blah, 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 blah. You get a check for owning a team because boom. Like, what? What? So, I'm gonna, you know what?
Like I
Fuck it.
said, when
Fuck it. I was gonna fucking curtail myself. I'm not curtailing shit because actually I got into a fight with somebody on TikTok and it made me fucking mad. All of my rants come because of motherfuckers on TikTok. So I brought up the fucking salary cap and I posted a few videos, yourself, fucking Braden, myself on breaking down the tape on TikTok. And this motherfucker is like, oh, well, of course you would want no salary cap. You're a Jets fan. And I was like, all right, if the best you have for me is you're a Jets fan, stop talking to me. If you want to have an intelligent conversation in which we bring up ways to help smaller markets such as profit sharing, like we see in other major leagues, then we can do that. And he said, oh, well, no salary cap. Why would you want that? That's killing baseball. That's the reason baseball is dying. No, the fuck it isn't. Baseball is dying because of old heads with unwritten rules who don't like bat flips or players fist pumping or having any sort of fun whatsoever. It also takes 6 fucking years to watch an actual baseball game. So that's fucking why baseball is dying. It's not because there's no fucking salary cap. Nobody gives a fuck about no salary cap. You just don't fucking, you don't
baseball
want
makes
people
the
to get
most
paid.
fucking money.
That's what I'm saying.
Baseball
Like,
makes you ridiculous amount of money. If you put the NBA and the NFL and you combine them, I still don't think they make the same amount of money as the MLB.
that's what I'm saying. Like the NFL, if you had no fucking salary cap, like why? Explain to me a rational fucking reason. I want anybody to write in, comment on a fucking Instagram post, fucking send an email to breaking down the tape at yahoo.com. Fucking explain to me like I'm 5 why in a multi-billion-dollar industry, the NFL, the Super Bowl is one of the most, if not the most watched worldwide production on the face of the planet. The NFL has taken away Sundays from one of the long-standing international organizations known as the Catholic fucking Church. This is a fucking organization that makes more money than the entire GDP of the United States of a fucking America. Okay? So you're gonna fucking tell me that in that kind of fucking organization that's expanding to other countries, by the way, the NFL is becoming international.
Mhm.
You're telling me that in that multi-billion-dollar, it wouldn't shock me in my lifetime, $1 trillion industry, that players should get paid a tenth of what that industry
See,
makes? Get the fuck away from me.
when you say and this is good discussion right here. When you say it like that, and obviously the richest people in the world are not these actors and athletes you see.
Yeah, no, not
The
at all.
richest people in the world you don't even know exist.
Mm-hmm.
The rich people in the world, you've never heard their name, seen a picture,
Yeah,
nothing.
if you think
They don't have social media. They don't
Mhm.
know.
If
These
you think
people are
Elon
broke.
Musk and Bill Gates are rich, please.
These people are, well, technically Elon Musk is the richest man in the world.
So
But
they
he
say.
but he likes, he likes to
Let
flaunt his shit a little bit.
let me put my
But
tinfoil hat on here for a second. So they
there's
say.
these rich people out there that you don't know exist. And when you put it in that extent, that there's this $1 billion company and these guys are getting paid 5% of that,
Yeah.
then yeah, like you could be like, yeah, that that's why I say gun for all the money you fucking want. But I
Mhm.
still stand by the simple fact that in a sport, no one is worth that much money.
No, I agree. There's no human on this planet short of solving fucking cancer or, the hunger crisis or home. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you 100%. You can't put a monetary value on people. People are worth more than money is. Money is a fucking made up social construct. Number one, fucking number. So I agree with you on that aspect. No one human should draw a personal value from a dollar sign and be worth such an egregious sum of money that is more than some countries' fucking GDPs. So I fucking 100% agree with you. But when, like you said, when referencing what I said, when you put it in the fucking context of this is going to be a $1 trillion industry before our deaths, yeah, fuck a salary cap.
And
I'm sorry,
and
people who want a salary cap just don't want players to be paid.
and to that fuck boy on TikTok, to that little fuck boy on TikTok, he does know that the Jets are like the 10th richest NFL team in the
That's
NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Well, I think that was his point was, well, because the Jets have so much money, they would be able to pay players to come. That's man, you know what? I'm stealing your shit today.
Are you
I'm going fucking wild and I'm going on fucking rants because that shit fucking annoys me. Oh, well, the Yankees have the most fucking money and they pay players to win. That's the fucking point. That's how you that's the whole goddamn fucking point. You pay a player, they win you games. The more games you win, the more people show up. The more people show up and buy their jerseys and merch and all that fucking good shit fucking makes you more money. The more money you make, the more players you play. The more
it's
That's
a
how this works.
fucking cycle.
My God, it makes me so mad when that argument, you just want that because they have more money. First of all, I want players to get paid. I firmly believe in players getting fucking paid as much money as they are humanly fucking able to get their hands on because of the fucking market that they play in. Because they're getting paid by dudes who fucking make billions of dollars a year. Okay, they get paid $230 million to simply own a team. So yeah, I want a player to make as much fucking money as humanly possible. But because your team has a lot of money, then they'd be able to pay the players.
Well,
Yes.
you
Yes.
do know there's 9 other fucking teams that have. First of all, I just posted it. I posted it in the glide chat.
You did.
Fucking Broncos owner is worth $40 billion.
That's that Walmart money, son.
Everybody talks about Jerry Jones and how the Dallas Cowboys is the richest franchise and they're worth $5 billion and da da da. And Jerry Jones is worth 10 million or $10 billion. The Broncos owner is worth $40 billion. That's $30 billion more than Jerry Jones. You think that no salary cap that the Broncos is going to win every fucking season? Then why are you worried about the goddamn Jets?
And let's flesh this out. Salary cap is ruining baseball. Salary cap is why the Yankees and the Dodgers have won all of these World Series and I hate saying this out loud because I'm a Yankees fan. When's the last time the Yankees have won the World Series? If the salary cap and buying players is the sure way to fucking victory, The Yankees should be 50-time back-to-back fucking
You can
champions.
pay someone as much as you want. Doesn't mean you're gonna win.
Fuck off.
Doesn't
Like
mean you're gonna win.
I cannot fucking wrap my head around the asinine. Like someone literally commented that was like, well, the salary cap is why the Yankees and Dodgers have just ran baseball. Oh, because the Yankees and Dodgers rotate fucking World Series wins. Because as a Yankees fan, I feel like it's been 20 fucking years. So maybe you should lick my fucking grundle.
If these so-called baseball fans actually pay the fuck attention. If you dial it back, let's just say 20, 25 years ago, the highest paid contract was like $5 million.
Yeah.
$5 million for X amount of years.
Right. For like 5 years.
That was the biggest fucking contract.
And let's look at how the Yankees but were dominant in the 90s. It was on Derek Jeter, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada. Where did those players come from? Was it multi-million-dollar contracts in free agency? I think the fuck not. I think absolutely the fuck not. So, because it's really, if we want to break it down, when the Yankees started spending stupid amounts of money in free agency and shit, is when we started to stop winning fucking World Series. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why are you speaking? You don't know what you're speaking about.
They actually.
My blood pressure.
Well, let's talk about Derek Jeter real quick.
Bringing up,
so in one of when you see episode 2, it'll talk about George Steinbrenner. At one point, George Steinbrenner had to give up running the team for a few years.
I think that was in episode 1, or maybe I watched episode 2 because I saw that.
After that, the Yankees, once he gave up that ownership for that small amount of time, the Yankees actually started winning again.
Yeah,
because the GM was the active owner. Started to develop the players and said, we need to go through the farm system. Yes, we can go out and buy players, but we need to develop our guys through the farm system as well. George Steinbrenner is just, after he won so much, he was like, we need to win, we need to win, we need to win. Go out and buy the next best guy, go out and buy the next best guy. We've seen how that works. All teams do it. You have to build through the farm system as well as spend money.
I can scream about this until kingdom come, because if you have a legitimate argument, fine, we can debate. But to say wrong things is just wrong. I'm happy you brought it up, because let's go to Derek Jeter, because another fucking reason why I get mad on motherfucking TikTok and blow a fucking blood vessel is because people just fucking say things for the views. And I get it, right? Controversial fucking takes is what gets you the views. I get it. And that's why I don't get a lot of views, because I'm a sane, rational, knowledgeable fucking human who doesn't say ignorant fucking shit like this. Like, there's one gentleman who fucking said, oh, well, if Derek Jeter wasn't on the Yankees, would he even matter? He's the most overrated player of all time. There's guys with almost 3,000 hits and similar stats to Jeter, and nobody talks about them the same way. Fuck you.
Well,
first of all, almost 3,000 hits isn't 3,000 hits. So fuck
exactly.
You,
did he play his entire career with one team? Probably not.
Do they have 5 gold gloves? How many slugger awards? How many fucking, and again, and I brought up to you in fucking pre, and I'll say this to everybody. What's the name of the goddamn show? Breaking Down the Tape. It's not fucking looking at the stats. You have to watch the game when did Derek Jeter's fucking hits come? When did why was he called Captain Clutch? Why? Well, I mean, because he was hitting fucking baseballs in April? I think the fuck not.
Like I said in pre, he has the all-time hits for the Yankees organization. He has the most doubles for the Yankees organization. He has the most steals for the Yankees organization. He's 6th all-time on the hits list. He has 5 rings. People are like, well, he wasn't even the best player on their team when they were winning. Well, if you are actually paying attention to those years, yes, yes, he was one of the best players on their team, and he won. He was a crucial point of that first World Series ring when we started winning in the '90s again.
Yeah, and
He
the
won
whole
as a fucking rookie.
and not the best player on your team thing. You can't compare a fucking shortstop and a pitcher in skill set. Shut the fuck up. Number one. And number
I've
two,
heard. Well, Bernie Williams was better than him. Bernie Williams. Let me educate you, motherfuckers, because I'm telling you right now, there's no bigger Yankee fan than the man standing right in front of you, who lived 6 blocks from the stadium and used to get free tickets to these games. Bernie Williams, the year before 1995, Jeter's rookie season was 96. 95, they brought him up, but he did not play. He just sat on the bench and watched. 1995, Bernie Williams was almost traded.
Mm-hmm.
He was having one of the shittiest years of his early career and was almost traded. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. They held off. Jeter comes up in 96, wins Rookie of the Year. They win a World Series. In 96, Bernie Williams finally breaks out, has a good season. Then hits his peak at 97 and 98, where he starts winning batting titles for a few years, hitting 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. Jeter at the same time is hitting 300. You got Tino Martinez on the other side. You got Paul O'Neill. You got all these guys hitting 300. So, and then when you break down Bernie Williams' career, he has not done for the small. Bernie Williams had a small fraction, maybe 6 years of prime playing time, where he was hitting over 300 and playing well when they were winning. After 2000, he disappeared again. Point blank period. Great center fielder, 5-star tool, all that. But to compare Bernie Williams to Derek Jeter is just asinine.
Yeah. To compare any position against any position, maybe outfielders, you can compare the 3 outfielders, I guess. But as far as the rest of it, no, you absolutely cannot. And like you said, Bernie Williams, like every player, has a rise and then they have a dip. Every star does that. When has Derek Jeter ever risen or dipped? Derek Jeter came in here and stayed here forevermore. All right. And this whole, according to this advanced statistic that we just made up in the last 2 years, he was the worst defensive player of all time. And the only reason he made those amazing jump throws is because he had to. What? Yes, he had to. What? Wait, he made the fucking play. You're mad at him because he made it way harder because of his terrible defensive range. It was way harder than it needed to be. What does that even mean?
But he made the play. But did the outcome made? Was his range not that great? Sure. Did he make the play?
That's what. But because
his defense is so garbage. He has 5 Gold Gloves.
Yeah. What? The worst defensive player in the history of baseball, 5 Gold Gloves. But because if he was better defensively, it wouldn't have been so hard for him. Who cares about the level of difficulty? When you're filling in your little fucking baseball sheet, right? And you fucking fill out, that it's a 5-4-3 double play, whatever the fuck. Do you rank it by difficulty? No, go fuck yourself. He made the fucking play. What the fuck are you even? I don't know if it's because I had fucking technical issues coming into this or if I've just been stewing about the shit takes I've seen. Fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, no.
I might actually put an expletive warning on this fucking episode. Fucking, because it was hard, he's bad. What? I can't even. I can't fucking even.
No, it blows my mind the Derek Jeter raping that he it's why do you hate the man so much?
Yeah, it's because people love to tear down those that are above them, number one, and number two, It's because the Yankees live rent-free in the mind of every baseball player or baseball organization and fan base ever. And of course, Derek Jeter being the Yankee, right? You can't tear down Lou Gehrig. He has a fucking disease. Like, you can't do that. That's just fucked up. You can't tear down Babe Ruth because he ended an entire fucking curse. Or he started, I should say. He started an entire fucking curse. But Derek Jeter, the modern, almost the second player to go fucking unanimous, and he should have.
And he should have.
They got to find some reason. I get it. Your views on your podcast or your social media accounts are low. You just got to say some ignorant shit.
That was another thing. The only reason he wasn't even unanimous was because of a Boston fan.
What a fucking shock.
Because he just didn't like Derek Jeter. He didn't get the vote.
Yeah, when do
you put your biases aside? When do you put your biases aside in the sport and be like, look, I'm just a fan of baseball. Yeah, I might not like the Yankees or I could hate Derek Jeter, but when it came to playing on the field,
never.
You got to give the man credit when credit is due.
Baseball is the most biased sport on the face of the planet. It's why it's dying. It's why, I, again, saw a fucking take. Baseball, MLB takes that fans just need to accept. And one of them was Tatis Jr. is fucking overrated. What? What are you talking? What? Anytime I hear a baseball take, most of the time I'm going, what? Where did you get that? What?
See, people make baseball takes without actually watching baseball.
Or they'll come up with, because ESPN is famous for this shit. You ever watch a fucking baseball game or a fucking, a fucking recap on ESPN? When the humidity is at 90% and the moon is full and Mercury is in Gatorade and, against left-handed batters that tap the plate twice, David Cohn is the worst pitcher. He walks them all. What the fuck does what?
They're the most superstitious motherfuckers too.
What?
They're the most superstitious motherfuckers too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, baseball fuels its takes off of these like hyper specific. Like, if you look at only this,
I get it. We're trying to break down. I get it. As the years go and the future keeps coming into the present, you're trying to find new and improved ways for analytics of why things happen and this and this and this. There is a point where you're digging too deep and you're thinking about it way too hard.
Yeah, you're looking here. This is when you look at all those advanced analytics, this is all you're getting out of it is this tiny little fucking. Like, people, if they see this and they watch it, oh my God, breaking down the tape is terrible because Papa Smurf's fucking, all you can see is part of his microphone. No, the joke's on you. The whole fucking thing is terrible for a whole lot of other reasons. You got to watch the show to know it's terrible. It's not just because you can barely see out of the corner of my camera.
It's not because you can see his hands. I'm over here cursing. I said what I said and drinking fucking every episode.
It's terrible because we're assholes, not because of this extraordinarily tiny fucking data point here, okay? That's why it's bad. Jesus Christ. Watch a fucking episode. God damn. So, I don't mean to completely, transition, but because I have ADHD, remember when I said in pre that I saw this morning that there was some sort of contract signing? I just couldn't remember what it was. I did now. It wasn't football. It was Capo Caco. The Rangers extended his contract.
Oh, I did see they signed him. I didn't. Was it a signing? Yeah, they signed him.
Well, they extended his contract. I think he was coming into the final year of his contract. He wasn't necessarily a free agent yet. He was set to be, I think, actually. But free agency hasn't technically. But yeah, they extended his contract. I do not remember what it was for. I have no fucking idea. I just remember that we talked about it in pre, and I couldn't remember what the fuck it was. So there you go. Capo Caco extended for the New York Rangers. But anyway, now that I've completely derailed the flow of what we were doing here, see, if you watch the show, you'll know that it's bad for a laundry list of reasons, not because of data points.
Yeah, this is we do multiple shit off the fly. Like this ain't pre-scripted.
Yeah, And while no, it really is not. We talk about like a handful of things. Generally, when Hector and I get on here in pre, as we call it, we are bitching about our daily lives. We are not this. What you are catching is truly unadulterated and raw. We are just
Yeah,
the
we
only
don't
thing that you
spend weeks on end being like,
no.
all right, this week we're gonna talk about this and bring up
No.
this. No, we're just like, yo, these key points just fucking been stuck in my mind for like the last couple days. Let's fucking rant on it.
Yeah, if you want, yeah, see, this is good. Here, watch this. Watch this podcast producer at work, baby. If you want scripted, thought out, intelligent arguments, boy, do we have a podcast for you. It's Nobody is Shift here. We also got Noble Sports with Braden, man. So if you want thought out, scripted bullshit, fantastic, polished bullshit, go check out Nobody is Shift here. You can find it under Breaking Down the Tape on our Spotify, and Noble Sports under his own Spotify or Anchor or wherever you get your podcast. But see, boom, podcast producer, baby. And I also wanted to throw in there to give you a fucking quick second to think about what you want to bring up next. Guys, don't forget, go on our Instagram. It's pinned. It's going to be the first post that you see, our giveaway post. You have to like that post. You have to tag a friend, follow Breaking Down the Tape, and follow Flash Cap. You get to win yourself this tumbler, 22-ounce tumbler from Flash Cap, custom engraved. You get to win this Matic 6 liquor cap with the fun button to give yourself, obviously more alcohol. And you get Breaking Down the Tape merch, which is on its way to my house as we speak. So make sure you go on
know what's
Instagram.
great?
You have to like the giveaway post, follow us, follow Flash Cap, and tag at least one friend. So there you go.
You know what's great? I actually brought up the Matic 6 and the tumbler at work last night.
Did you? There you go.
To one of the dudes I was working with, and he was like, "What? That sounds fucking sick. You probably
Right?
get lit as fuck." I was like, "Bruh."
Bro, it is. I'll tell you what, if you've, I haven't used it in a while because lately we've been shooting day episodes. But you should go back to my live unboxing or like the first episode I used it. Just that button's gonna fuck you up. Button's dangerous, bro. You gotta be careful with that shit. It is. It's like having the Infinity Stones. You just make reality whatever the fuck you want it to be, bro.
And since we're on the verge of shouting out the other podcast, guys, stay tuned because when college football season does kick off, Jimmy Pips will be bringing back a form of pound for pound. He might be switching up logos and names, but he's definitely going to be coming with you guys with a lot of college football. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, we got the new Mel Kiper coming to you guys.
Seriously though, Jim, he has. I don't know if he just like sleeps with college football on, and he just like it's osmosis into his brain at night. That dude knows more about college football than anybody I've seen that's not named Mel Kiper. You know what I mean? Or Kirk Herbstreit. So kudos to Jimbo. And yes, I cannot wait for that to start. But transitioning and staying with football, we talked about Kyler Murray securing the bag last week. We were able to bring that up. But then shortly after the episode was released, contract comes out, and there's an addendum in there that Kyler Murray must spend 4 hours a week during the regular season, during game seasons, studying film. It's the fucking weirdest thing I've ever read in my life. I'll be 100% honest.
That's like being in high school and you're just not doing your homework. So the teacher calls your mom and the mom's like, okay, now you got a tutor 3 times a week for 2 hours.
There's so much to this that I don't understand. And maybe it's because I'm stupid and you can walk me through it if you can understand it. You're in contract negotiations with Kyler, who's a good quarterback. I'm not taking nothing away from him physically or talented wise. He's a good quarterback. I wouldn't call him elite. I could see him being on the border of great, but I'll call him a good quarterback. and you're in these negotiations. His agent is pissing and moaning, talking about being a 2-time Pro Bowler, like that's some big accomplishment nowadays. Um, and then you're willing to make him the second highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, but you don't trust him enough to study film?
See, my thing with Kyler Murray, and I said what I said, and I've been saying it since this whole contract negotiation bullshit has come out with Kyler Murray. Even before that, when he started, he has become a schoolgirl, a whiny little bitching schoolgirl who has done the bare minimum in the NFL to be not requesting, but demanding this type of money.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know who leaked. There's been a lot of fuckboy shit in the NFL this last week. A lot of anonymous shit, and we'll get to that. A lot of anonymous shit, and we'll get to that. But a lot of fuckboy shit. You demand this money, and you give the bare minimum. And then when it comes out that in this contract, it says you're a lazy fuck, and you don't want to put in the effort because you think your talent is just good enough to get you where you need to be, that you have to come on a conference call, meeting, interview for 11 minutes and become a cocky douchebag. And to defend yourself, you say, well, I was undefeated in high school and I won the Heisman and I was a first round pick and I got 2 Pro Bowls. Okay, how many other, Peyton Manning did the same shit.
Yeah.
But you know what Peyton Manning did? He kept his mouth fucking shut and he won. And he studied film.
And here's the thing, Kyler. In high school, you can get away with pure talent. We've seen Jamarcus Russell do it. We've seen Ryan Leaf do it. We've seen insert everyone here do it. In college, it's a little bit harder, but you can get away on raw physical talent. Insert Jamarcus Russell. Insert Ryan Leaf. Insert fucking Mitchell Trubisky. Insert fucking pick your player here. You can get away on raw physical talent. So yeah, awesome. You've been a huge fish in really small ponds. But now you're playing with like the 0.01% of the entire fucking globe. Your fucking talent's gonna get you there, and it got you there, and you can compete with them physically. I agree with that. But there's another level to this. You brought up Peyton Manning. Why do you think Peyton Manning is amazing? Why do you think fucking Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, any offensive lineman, why running back? You think they're just physically talented? I'm gonna go out there and be the biggest, strongest man. No, that's not why. You think DeAndre Hopkins, you think Devontae Adams, Larry Fitzgerald, the greatest, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. Randy Moss we can exclude from this conversation. You think the greatest route runners of all time just use physical ability? They're not watching game film. Oh, okay, this corner plays this way, so I know I can do these routes. I know I have to run it this way against you. Think offensive linemen just go out there, I'm gonna lift big and push people around. Like they don't go out there and
I put them down.
Yeah, right. Like I'm pass protecting against Aaron fucking Donald. I know that this is his go-to move when this is the setup and You think fucking one of my favorite interviews of all time is Pat McAfee talking about playing the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers in his hometown of Pittsburgh, and they're on like the 7-yard line and they're going to run a fake because the Steelers do this 100% of the time because that's what the game film has told them. And they do this 100% of the time. He's going to score a touchdown. It's going to be his first NFL touchdown, in front of his hometown. And then Troy, as he called it, Polamalu, Troy Polamalu fucking lines up in the A gap and just completely fucks his entire life up. You think Troy didn't get that intuition and that instinct by never watching game film? Like what? So great. No. You're physically talented. We all know that. Good for you. But that's not what gets you along in this league, dog. That's like not what.
You know what blew my mind? When he said, well, I was drafted first pick in the MLB and the NFL draft. How many players have that happened? You do know, Super Bowl winning John Elway was also a baseball player and a football player. You do know the Yankees offered him the fattest fucking contract for him to come play for them, and he chose the NFL, right? Like, multiple people have played multiple sports.
Russell Wilson is a New York Yankee, technically. If Russell Wilson ever picks up a baseball bat and wants to play baseball professionally, he's a New York Yankee off the rip. They own his contract. Tom Brady was drafted into the MLB. You're not special.
Yeah,
the two sports translate extraordinarily well, apparently. I would never think so, but they do.
If you wanted the money, you should have just went to baseball.
Yep.
You should have just went to baseball. No. Instead, you come to football, you become this little baby back fucking Yoda bitch. And that's no disrespect to Yoda. No disrespect to Yoda.
We love
all the disrespect to Kyler Murray, because if you just look at the way Kyler Murray represents himself now, like I said in pre, he looks like the biggest fucking douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
You have done nothing in the end of maybe 20 years ago. What you have done so far, people would have been like, yo, but not anymore, because everyone does it.
Yeah. Pro Bowls don't mean shit. Mitchell Trubisky was a Pro Bowl MVP. I do not care about you fucking Pro Bowls.
I want to know about your all pros. I want to know about your winning records and your playoff experiences.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, and another just dysfunctional fucking part of this whole situation is that the agent that represents Kyler Murray also represents Cliff Kingsbury. Maybe that's more common than I think it is, but I find that to be extraordinarily interesting that both of these subpar performing people have gotten contracts that are linked together. And me personally, I've gone on record saying this is the downfall of the Cardinals' once budding franchise, because Kyler Murray is a good quarterback, and I think he's a good franchise quarterback, but he's going to make Cliff Kingsbury look good. Cliff Kingsbury is not good. And as long as Cliff Kingsbury is around, they're not going to be a good team. So by Kyler Murray doing good and signing this extension, it has...
Well, why you think they got Kyler Murray? Cliff Kingsbury went out his way to make sure Kyler Murray was on his team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I said, I give Kyler Murray all the credit to his talent. He's talented, could play very well, fantasy-wise, realistic. Yeah. Great. He's top 10, probably a top 10 quarterback. You degrade in my eyes. I'm not speaking for anybody else. In my eyes, you degrade yourself. I don't give a fuck about any of your talent when you do shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
When you come out after doing, like I said, 20 years ago, what you've done so far in your career is mind-blowing. Now, everyone has done it. So you come out, you have a basic fucking few years now, because that's what it is now, it's just basic few years, and you're demanding this money, and then you're being a fuckboy. I'm sorry, and I'll stand by it. I don't like those type of players, and I don't want that around my organization.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And it just brings
that
it back
to me type of attitude.
Mm-hmm. And bringing it back to the original fucking context of the conversation, all of that on top of the fact that your own coaching staff, your own organization doesn't trust that you're going to put in the work that's necessary behind the scenes. Man, it's just giving me some real dysfunctional vibes out there in Arizona.
I'm excited to see the first 5 or 6 games for the Cardinals, because they don't have their number one wide receiver.
Right.
D-Hop, who was one of the top receivers in the league the last few years, somehow now comes out and he pops for PEDs. So now I question myself like, damn, was he really that good? How long has he been using this to stay at this level that he's been playing at?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he really that talented? So you take him out the equation for 6 weeks. Who the fuck he throwing the ball to?
Mm-hmm.
When like 30% of his throws were to D-Hop.
Yeah, and now Christian Kirk is gone. Don't they have Zach Ertz?
Christian
Zach
Kirk
Ertz?
went to the Jaguars. Zach
Mhm.
Ertz, he hasn't been relevant in years.
And
He had
then
like 2 or 3 decent years with the Eagles and then fell off the face of the. I thought he was going to be up there with Kittle and Kelsey, and he fell off the face of the earth.
J.J. Watt's caught touchdown passes before. Nah, I'm hearing you, bro. That I mean, look, Seattle fans are probably jumping for joy because they now have the potential to not be the last in that division. The Cardinals are going back from whence they came, straight to the bottom of the NFC West.
And I really thought they were going to do something.
Yeah,
I thought when Kyler came into the league, I was like, oh, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be crazy. He's going to be like Russell Wilson 2.0. You know, I don't like the way he's carrying himself.
Yeah, no,
I don't like the way he went about the whole contract thing. I don't like how he was trying to hold out. You know, I don't like any of it. The way it all played out, I don't like any of it.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's that whole organization scene down there is just not a good look at all. At all. But that's I was gonna say that's all I had for NFL news. But Kyle Rudolph got traded to or signs with the Tampa Bay. And what a fucking putz! Here I am about to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kyle Rudolph as if that's the big signing. Julio Jones is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. The rich just keep getting richer. Mike Evans, Julio Jones, playoff Lenny. I don't know. Starting to sound like a bunch of Walmart bag boys, and that's the kind of team that fucking Tom Brady loves to play with.
All I see happening is Julio getting 1,200 yards and 1 touchdown.
Oh yeah, Russell Gage too.
That's what Julio Jones does. He gets all the fucking yards. So that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna get 1,200 yards, 1 fucking touchdown.
Oh, for sure. But here's the thing. You know your wide receiver core is scary when Julio Jones is your wide receiver 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I
would still put him a wide receiver 2. I would still put until Godwin comes back, because I don't think he's going to be back until week 4 or 5 or something like that. Until Godwin comes back, I would put Julio at a number 2 over Russell Gage.
I can see that. I can see that.
And once Godwin comes back, then I would bump him to a 3, because then it would be Godwin and Mike Evans, kind of 1A, 1B, and then Julio.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like on a healthy roster, and you're right. I forgot Godwin's not coming back for a minute, but on a healthy roster, Julio Jones is your wide receiver 3. But I agree with you. Do I think he's going to have this like, oh my god, fucking amazing, obscene record fucking season? No. But the point being is that when Godwin comes back, we've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, Leonard Fournette, Kyle Rudolph, which Kyle Rudolph is not like, he's not going to replace Rob Gronkowski, but don't sleep on him. Like, yeah. Goddamn.
And I actually would say that Kyle Rudolph, I say it lightly, kind of blocks better than Gronk. Route running wise and catching ability, I would give that to Gronk. But when it comes to blocking for either the pass or the run, I kind of give it to Kyle Rudolph a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say by much, but yeah, and I think that's just a facet of how Gronk got used, because he was so dangerous in the passing game that he wasn't used as a primary blocker. But I'll give that edge. But the rich just keep getting richer. And it's all to beat fucking Frat Stafford and Cooper Kupp. That's they got pissed off that they lost to Frathu Stafford and Cooper Kupp, and they just can't handle it.
Well, Julio Jones had had it in the back of his head for how many years now? He was just like, I lost to the man, so I gotta go win with the man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the man stole it. I'm sorry, Tom Brady literally stole that Super Bowl away from you guys. It sucks. Bucks probably will be one of the top 4 remaining teams this season.
Are we saying Tom Brady rides off into the sunset on a Super Bowl win?
And retires for 2 months this time and comes back?
So I'll address that. I think his next retirement is official, especially if he were to end this season on a Super Bowl win. If the Bucks win this Super Bowl and Tom Brady says he's retiring, I think he's done. I think he will ride off into the sunset on 7 Super Bowls. Because J-Lo went out here and got married again, tied him for fucking Super Bowl rings, for rings, and he can't let that happen. So you'll see him if he runs off into the sun. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'll run off into the sunset, I think.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be chasing either Yogi Berra's 10 or Russell. Fuck, I lost the track of my mind. The NBA player, Bill Russell's fucking 11.
Yeah. What is that? Sue Bird, right? Doesn't she have like the most amount?
No, not WNBA. I mean NBA.
Oh, my bad.
NBA Bill Russell has 11 championships.
Yeah, it's gonna be the year 2050, and our children, are gonna grow up being Tom Brady super fans because he's still playing in the fucking league. It's gonna be
85 years old.
Oh my god,
still launching.
Still looking like he's fucking 20 because Tom Brady drinks the blood of small children and has aged backwards like Benjamin Button. So I guess that's what money does for you.
I have 100% faith that he is part of the Illuminati and these rich people that do like sacrificial summonings and shit like that. Yeah.
I respect it.
And
you got anything? Oh, so go ahead.
One last thing before we actually end it. The whole did you see Big Ben?
You were saying something in pre. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Big Ben comes out now and says the 2 phases of his career, the early part of his career and the late part of his career. 2 different sides of career. And you could kind of, watching his career, and he played 18 seasons. So they split it down the middle, 9 and 9. You can kind of see the difference in the way the team was. Year 1 through 9 and the year 10 through 18. He came out and said, my first half of the career, it seemed more team-oriented. It was about the team. It was about winning. After the second half of the career, it started to look more about individual player accomplishments. It was about me type of thing. And I kind of agree to what he was saying. When Pittsburgh was at the peak of Pittsburgh and they were winning, it was team football dominance. Then you get the likes of like a Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown and then guys like that, Antonio Holmes and shit like that. That kind of changed the culture, I guess. They were still winning in the regular season, but they weren't getting the postseason success. And it was all about me. I want my money. I want the football. I'm not getting enough touches. All this hoopla. I don't disagree in what he's saying. However, I disagree in his backtrack. Because then he comes out and he backtracks his whole thing saying, I should have gave more detail. It wasn't that way. No, you said what you said, bro. Now stand by it. You are the face of Pittsburgh. When someone says Pittsburgh Steelers, they say Ben Roethlisberger. Like, stand by that shit. You're not wrong in what you're saying. Stand by that shit.
Nah, but you'll see it happen all the time. These players come out and they'll speak their mind for a second, and then their fucking agent or their PR specialist or whoever will get on them and be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? I mean, you saw it with Devontae Adams. You saw the same thing with Devontae Adams. He's like, when you go from one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer, there's a little bit of transition. And then people were like, yo, you're called Derek Carr Hall of Famer. He's like, no. What you're not understanding. No, I didn't. I was saying that even if you had a Hall of Famer at quarterback and you go to another Hall of Famer at quarterback, there is a transition. I was saying even if. Bro, stand on your word. Stop it. Stay what you said. Like, come on.
Yes, I think Devontae, especially the that shit right there. I think Devontae Adams had a problem with either. I'm not even going to say Green Bay. I think he had a problem with Rodgers.
How do you not?
I think he had an issue with Rodgers because I'm sorry, there is not an undisclosed amount of money you can give me to say that Derek Carr, one, is better than Aaron Rodgers, two, is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's just not. I like Derek Carr. I think he gets a lot of hate,
He's
but he
way
is
better
not a
than his
Hall of
brother.
Famer. Yeah, oh
He's way
yeah,
better than his brother.
yeah.
Uh,
But he
uh,
gets
uh, he,
he's not a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's gonna. Last year, he almost hit 5,000 yards. He's definitely gonna hit it now with Devontae Adams. He's not a Hall of Famer.
No,
He
not one
he
bit.
has no MVPs. He has no accolades. He has no playoff wins.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's nothing, and he's not even hit 5,000 yards yet. Like
Last
he
year,
has,
he was close. He was like
yeah,
4,900.
yeah, he was close, but that's, I mean, and how long did it take for him to even get close? That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Derek Carr receives a lot of unnecessary hate, but he's not a Hall of Famer. But that's the whole point: is these guys say shit in these in-person interviews, and then when they think about it, or when their PR person's like, "Bro, you did not just say that," they backtrack it. Like the one person I think is saying absurd, nonsensical fucking things, but Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill said that fucking Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the National Football League. And he has had many times to backtrack it and walk it back and recant. And my man has stood on that position. Look, man, you're an idiot and you are just factually incorrect. But hey, at least you're standing on it. I got to
I
give you
wish
credit there. You said what you said and you're standing on it. Like, props to
I wish
you.
I would have screenshot his. He's had recently said something about Zach Wilson
Oh, I saw
compared
that.
to
I
compared to
watched
Tua.
first
I
take.
wish I would have screenshot that shit so I can talk
I'll
about
tell
it
you what.
again.
I'll talk about it because I watched it live on First Take. They interviewed him and they were like, so Bart Scott asked the fucking question and he was like, so it came down to the Jets and the Dolphins, Zach Wilson and Tua. What made you choose Tua over Zach? And he's like, Zach Wilson's a dog, man. He's got that dog in him, but I wanted to play with the most accurate quarterback in the league. What did you just say?
It's a
The
guy that
most
threw like
accurate.
57%.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? Tua's a good quarterback, and again, somebody who gets a lot more hate than he fucking. I just saw a TikTok that ranks him less than 30 in the NFL as a quarterback, which is absurd to me. But you can't name 30 better quarterbacks than him. I'm not trying to defend him. You just can't name 30 better ones. But let's not call him the most You just came from fucking Patrick Mahomes, who I saw 2 inches from the ground in a Super Bowl game, parallel with the ground, throw a dot to you that you dropped. So what are you talking about? The most what?
Yeah, that you know what? We don't
But
need
at least he
Tyreek.
stands on it. At least he
Yeah,
stands.
at least he stands on that shit. It blows. And then another thing is these anonymous guys.
Oh
These
yes, I'm so
these are
glad you brought that up. Oh my
these
god.
anonymous guys. I don't even want to get to the DC guy yet. There's been multiple. There was another one that just came out.
I posted it in the glide about Patrick Mahomes. Oh, well, he's not really that good. Once his first read isn't there, he just takes off running.
Oh, that was homeboy. That was a Steeler.
They said it was anonymous, so I must have missed that. But the post that I saw said it came from an anonymous defensive
Oh yeah, it
coordinator.
did came anonymous. It was homeboy from the Steeler that brought it up on Sports Center.
Oh, got you. Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark brought it up on Sports Center.
I'm just like, what the what? Now I get it. You're an NFL defensive coordinator, but are you for the Denver Broncos? Like, are you completely biased? Because I'm not seeing what you're fucking seeing.
My
I'm
thing
seeing his offensive line breakdown and him get the fuck out of the way. Like, what are you seeing?
What I see is that the offensive line eventually breaks down. Let's put it. Okay. You say hike. Tyreek Hill's probably getting shut down for
The first
10
20
yards.
Yeah.
10, 15 yards. The line breaks down. He scrambles. He's waiting for other people to get open. No one's open yet. After 15 yards, all you got to do is yeet it.
Fuck it. He's there somewhere.
He going to get it. Just yeet it as far as you fucking can, because ain't nobody going to beat him to the ball.
Yeah, no.
So, like, where is it that you shut down his first option, and you do know he has Travis Kelce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do know Travis Kelce was more of the number one option more than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but I mean, if you take away his first read, he just scrambles. He's not that good.
Like,
and then I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I can't.
I just can't. I can't wait to bring this one up. Because speaking of anonymous, and I know your reference, I know you know where I'm going, but the Lamar Jackson anonymous fucking comment. Oh my God.
I want this name outed. I want all of the names outed. All of them. All of them. Yeah. Do not say some shit if you are going to hide behind a closed door.
I don't care how many MVPs
put your name
he
out
wins.
there.
I don't care how many MVPs he wins. He'll never be the true quarterback one. What did you just say? Do you understand what you just said? Like, what? And
Louis Riddick said it perfect. He was like, this is personal.
Yeah,
this is personal. You personally just cannot stand the man, and it makes you even more mad that he's being successful at what he's doing. So you're trying to downgrade him. Oh, the true number one should play like this.
Yeah, I can't, like you said, first of all, if you have the balls to say something, say it like with your face attached to it. Don't be a fucking coward. Stop being a fucking coward. We say ridiculous shit here all the time. And all the 6 people that fucking listen to us have to fucking stare at our faces while we say it. Have the balls to fucking stand on what you say.
And I finish it when I said what I said.
I'm telling you, for you to just make such egregious fucking statements and not, it's wild to me. It's like, I see these things and I feel like I either don't have an understanding of the sport or I just am watching it's like I'm watching cricket and they're watching football. Because where are you getting this from? What are you fucking noticing? Patrick Mahomes isn't that good. If you take away his number one read, he's not that good and he just scrambles. Yeah, that's why he won a Super Bowl and then made it to the next one. You fucking reject. It doesn't matter how many fucking MVPs fucking Lamar Jackson wins. He's not a true quarterback one. You understand, 5 ACLs tore on his team last year. What do you fucking want?
You know what killed him? Is that it was a defensive coordinator that said that about Lamar. It's like, hold up. You're a defensive coordinator. It's not even an offense. I could get it if it was an offensive coordinator for another team that could be like, you know what? I really don't truly see him as a number one.
Right. He wouldn't be my
without
number
all
one.
the extra hoopla of I don't care how many MVPs, blah, blah, blah. He could just be like, look, I truly don't see him as a true, great talent, could be a, starting quarterback, blah, blah, but not a true number one. Cool. But it's a defensive coordinator. So in my eyes, the minute I see DC anonymously, blah, 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 in my head, Lamar Jackson torched you 100%. Multiple times, and you're mad about it because you can't stop him.
I'm going with the Bengals. I think it's the Bengals.
For some reason, in my head, what keeps popping up is Dan Quinn.
I can see it. I
don't know why, but since the minute that post came out, the only name that pops up in my head when that statement comes to me is Dan Quinn. I don't know why. God,
if it comes out that Dan Quinn said it, you're telling me the fucking lottery numbers. Holy shit. But no, I hear you, man. I just it's fucking wild to me. It's just I cannot understand having that amount of balls to say what you said, number one, but number two, to be so confidently wrong and say it, but then to turn around and hide your own face, the level of cowardice you've got to have. It's just, and like you said, it's personal. It's personal. That's not a football statement. That's not a football statement. That's Lamar Jackson went out there, threw for fucking 500 yards on you and then fucked your wife. Like, that's why you made that statement.
First of all, the only QB fucking wives, we know who that is.
The Book of Mormoms.
Yeah, the Mormon MILF monster belongs to us. So, but it blows my mind because, like, look, I said what I said. I stand by it. When I saw Lamar Jackson playing in Louisville, and he got drafted, I said it. He should have went to wide receiver. He should have went to wide receiver or running back. I don't think he should be a quarterback.
Yeah, that style of play is hard to maintain.
I think he runs too much, but he has an arm. And we've seen players in the NFL and in other, tiers of the football realm where you started off as a wide receiver, became a quarterback, or you were a quarterback, you became a running back, or, we've seen that. Emmanuel Sanders, who used to play for Pittsburgh, was a wide receiver. He played college quarterback. Like we've seen that. I said Lamar Jackson should have been a wide receiver. He can throw the ball. But I've never said that he was a shitty quarterback.
Yeah.
I said he just should have been a wide receiver. He's probably better off. Probably would have been a higher draft pick. Who knows what would have happened? Whatever.
Yeah.
He's still a very good starting quarterback.
Yeah, I would take him over at least half of the NFL starting quarterbacks right now.
I don't know my rankings right now, but I put him in the top 12.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like I could accurately defend that. But and here's the thing. I disagree with you. I don't think he should have switched to wide receiver or running back. I disagree there. But I will say that his style of play is extraordinarily hard to maintain, especially as we see a fucking, huge transition to the air raid, that we have been seeing and that we are in. It's hard to sustain that level of play. We saw, and I said it all last year with Josh Allen, if your quarterback is leading your team in rushing yards, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Period. End of story. And look at what happened. And I firmly believe that you still need a running game to take that pressure off of him. Running and throwing the ball is just a very hard thing to maintain consistently. And I just, unless they can fix that in Baltimore, I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl. But that's not like, he's never going to be QB1. What? No, it's just saying that there's flaws in his team.
See, I thought Baltimore did address that.
No,
they had 5 fucking running backs all get hurt. They probably thought the same thing. You know what? Quarterback shouldn't be leading the league in the team in rushing. They went out, got all these running backs, and they ended up getting hurt. I guarantee you, if they didn't get hurt, Lamar Jackson would have had ran as much as he did the previous season.
I agree.
He would have scrambled here and there. And obviously, when he scrambles, he's breaking it for 20 other than a first down. But he wouldn't have ran the way he had to run more last year.
Trust me, man. I agree with you. I think there's a flaw in his play style. And I think that last year was a freak of fucking nature of what happened to his backfield. But to make, those are rational football criticisms. Those are things that like rational human beings say. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he'll take that next step to being a pocket passer because he tries to maintain too high of a level as a running passer. That's a rational criticism from a defensive coordinator. But I don't care how many DC or MVPs he wins, he's never going to be a true number one. What?
If he goes out and wins, first of all, the ridiculous number of 12 MVPs, and that's one. First of all, the man with the most MVPs is Peyton Manning. Motherfucker only got 5. Right. So, like, please, if you're gonna make it sound good, make it sound good. Be like, I don't give a fuck. He has more MVPs than Peyton Manning. That's right. How you should have said it.
You don't care how many though. For the rest of his career, he wins MVP every year. He's still not quarterback 1 to you. It just gives me the ick. I hate to sound like a child because that's shit children say, but it gives me the ick. Like, are you a retired? I gotta know. Are you an active defensive coordinator or are you a retired? Are you from like the 70s?
I want to know. I want to know. We need to start digging. We need to start hitting up some people and be like, yo, out them. Just out
Deep
them.
diving into this. Let me pull up
Just
my
out them.
contact list.
Let me hit up the Johnsons because I'm close friends with them. I'm gonna hit up the Johnsons, the owners of the Jets. They're gonna call some people. We'll see. I want this man's name.
We'll
want this man's name.
We'll hang him in the town square. Throw fucking what's that fucking thing called? I
don't know, but I know.
You throw the tomatoes at a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I'm fine with a noose too, but
oh shit.
Let me not, because the man might be black and then they'll call me racist.
Oh my god, yeah, that'll fuck it up. That'll fuck the whole episode up. Not like I'm gonna change anything about it, but still. Before I let you get to the end, I just wanted to reiterate the fact that we do have a giveaway going. Go to the Instagram page. It's pinned. It's the first post you're gonna see. Get to win a tumbler from Flash Cap, the Matic 6. Sorry, it took me a second to grab it from Flash Cap. A couple of stickers and some Breaking Down the Tape merch. So guys, all you have to do is like the post, comment, tag a friend. You've got to like Breaking Down the Tape, or follow Breaking Down the Tape, and follow Flash Cap. Very simple rules. We will be picking the winner on our first live of the regular NFL season. And with that being said, obviously shout out to Flash Cap. We love them. I love their products. I use their tumbler as a water bottle every day. I work 10-hour shifts overnight, so I can't really drink as much as I would like. But when I do drink, I do use it, and I fucking love it. But then I'll turn it on over to Hector.
Hey guys, we're coming here to the end. We're in August, pretty much. I want to let you guys know, Degenerates is coming back.
Coming back.
And it's coming back with a fucking vengeance.
With content galore. Just wait till you see what we got for you.
We've gotten shit piled up, just ready to just send out so all you guys can just see. The episodes will be coming back. Draft night is August 22nd, 7 p.m. We will be doing a live drafting. We got some new guys into the league. We still got a bunch of the old guys. Reigning champ Christie is sitting downstairs, just soaking it all in. Stay tuned, because September 8th, first game of the season, it's a Thursday. We'll be doing the revealing of the winner of the Flash Cap and the Breaking Down the Tape merch. So stay tuned, because Degenerates is back. Season 5 is in full go. I said what I said.